Hello, fellow puzzlers. So, you may hear my dogs in the background. Probably not going to edit it out. It's just life, right? Like, it is what it is. But they did, in the last video, I had to let them out of the bathroom as it was close to their supper time. And honestly, there is just no reasoning with them sometimes. So that's fine. That's cool. No sweat, because it took me, I think, 10 minutes. Oh, Tinkerbell, come on. It took me about 10 minutes to feed them. And now I can go back to my puzzle because they had a really good walk. So typically my dogs do nap after their walks. And yeah, that's just how I do it. Now, they don't necessarily have to. But I do notice that I feel like they're a lot more tired if they don't get their naps in. To be honest, like, you know, we had company here for the holidays, of course, and my husband made sure that the dogs were walked so nice and tired before company came, and then that allows us to entertain, I guess, more freely without the dogs jumping on everyone. And not that they really do, but a big crowd that they're not used to every day, like, of course that's going to throw them off their game. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Oh, you look like you're the bottom of the... I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But there we go. But what am I saying here? So we try and exercise them before we have company so they're not jumping up on everyone. But then typically they do like to have naps. So when they don't get to have their nap, I feel like they really struggle. And oops, that may be just me that thinks that, but that is okay. One hangs almost like right there, but I don't think I would go that way, would you? Oh, yeah, love that. Love the winds. I did try a different camera angle, but I was super unhappy with it. If this angle is not doing it for you guys, I can change, not a problem, but I figured this was the way to see me do the puzzle the most, and apparently I really like to talk facing to my right. Don't really know why, it is what it is, but I like this angle, I guess. I know it's hard though, because I always work with I'm dominantly right, so I will always kind of work with that hand. But I'm open to change, so let me know. Is that it? Pongo, Mommy got a piece of puzzle. What are you doing? Are you looking at everyone else's dishes? So it's funny. The dogs, they all have their own space to eat. But then without fail, they always, once everyone's done, they always go around to each other's food bowls, just to make sure that they're not missing out on anything. Well, they got this, I swear. I understand some people are going to say, you know, oh, having dogs is not, or having animals is nothing like having kids. Okay, fine. My argument, and I'm not really looking for an answer, and I'm definitely not looking to get into an argument about this. All I'm going to say is that, you know, I have the dogs in my life, and they certainly require care. They're never going to feed themselves or walk themselves. We do have the dog door, but that's us setting that up, so they'll never, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it's funny sometimes how, you know, I think that sometimes, ooh, this is a dangerous topic. I think sometimes people, I don't know, I just don't understand why people get so upset when I say I'm a mom and then the person finds out that I don't have kids. Like, I don't know, it's just, I'm still nurturing, like, and if you don't agree, okay, like, okay, I'm not saying it to upset you. I am just saying it because I really do feel like their mother. I take care of them all the time. So to me, it's just natural that I would develop, nurturing feelings for them. Like, I don't know. I think the dog saved my life half the time. But actually, you want to know a funny story? Okay, here's a really good story that I thought about when I was walking the dogs. And I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to talk about on camera. Anyway, wait till you hear this. So, I'm going to try to work through the puzzles I'm talking. So I walk my dogs off leash and come across some animals in the past, came across bears and bear cubs in the past. I walk primarily in the woods. Came across some bears in the past, but the bears always kind of kept their distance and like never had a problem. So I had a standoff with a bear one time. It was terrifying. And it actually affected my job, like my occupation, because I had laryngitis after. And thank God, thank goodness, that is the worst thing that happened to me. So what happened was, sorry, it's just such a crazy story. I was walking the dogs off leash on a trail that I walk probably 3 times a week for at least, 10 plus years. 2 of the dogs went off into the woods, just, close by, but went off the trail, like they were on a rabbit, if you will, and like the scent. And nope, out comes a bear. And I was like, oh, wow. So the bear saw me, and how close would it have been? I don't know, from like maybe like 15 feet away. Like, it was so close that I swear I could see like its pupil. Like, it was so close. So it didn't go after the dogs. That was the craziest thing. Now, again, I immediately was like, oh, in protective mom mode, if you will, and just said, okay, come here to the dogs. And somehow in the back of my head, I thought I did the right thing. And I remembered, I'm fairly certain that with, is that right? No, it wants to be. I'm fairly certain that with the bears we have in Nova Scotia, the black bears, I'm fairly certain that you are supposed to stand your ground. Again, I'm not really looking for a lot of feedback on that. If you guys want to comment below with what you're supposed to do, because I probably did it wrong, by all means. But at the time, it worked for me. And the issue is the point is moot now because it's gone. Like the event, So the bear came out and saw me and stood up on its hind legs and went rawr, 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 with its mouth snarling and going on. That was terrifying. I'm way back in the woods, at least 20 minutes in, and I have no idea what's about to happen. So I just knew that I wanted to protect my dogs. That was it for me. And I'm not saying that you should do this. This is just what happened to me. I wasn't trying to make this happen. This just honestly happened so organically. It was wild. So my dogs, thankfully, didn't really interact with the bear. So I just I put my arms above my head. I'm only 5'1", so I'm very short. So I put my arms above my head and tried to like somehow make my body bigger. I don't know. And I just said like, get out of here, bear. What I said, if you couldn't understand my yelling, was get out of here, bear. I was just so scared. Oh gosh, I was scared. the bear went back on all fours, got down on the ground, started to leave, and then came back out and stood back up. And I was like, oh geez. I was like, yeah, this is to me when the bear is making the decision that it's gonna attack. It stayed where it was. It kept the distance though, which gave me a little bit of hope. And so it stood back up, went rah, 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 rah with its claws and snarly snout and all that stuff. And then I just, you know how sometimes when you scream, I have different screams and different laughs. I have my laughs, for example, I have my laughs when it's awkward. I have my laughs when things catch me right off guard. I have my laughs when I think things are so funny. Like I have a few laughs, I'm sure you guys do too. But also I scream differently. So like, you know the scream that perhaps you have, that sound of scream you've made in your life that you just can't replicate because you were just really that scared. Someone jumped out from the shadows. And I'm not trying to have a triggering. This is just supposed to be a funny, if you jump in cold water and you're like, I can't replicate that scream. So I didn't scream at the bear, but I tried to yell from deep, deep, deep down in my belly. I tried to push out enough of a intimidating voice to deter the bear. So again, I just said, get out of here, bear. Get out of here, bear. But I was just screaming it. Thankfully, the bear got back down on all fours, didn't retreat, but kind of held the ground where it was. And so I decided to take that opportunity to walk away. Now, I was 20 minutes in, so I had to walk backwards because I am sure you are not to turn your back to these types of wild animals. And again, I am not a specialist. I love my dogs, but I don't really know a heck of a lot about other animals, blah, blah, blah. So that was terrifying. I got to the car, called my husband because I was like, and shaking. Oh my goodness. So I guess what was funny was the adrenaline. Nice. The adrenaline that kicked in was so overpowering. Like, whoa, it was wild. I felt like I could have run a race or perhaps picked a car up off of an infant. Like, you know how they say sometimes women, and this wasn't like a woman thing, this was just a coincidence thing, but you know how they say sometimes women can get this insane strength that they wouldn't normally have. They pick a car up off a baby, I don't know, something like that. But all I'm saying is that it was wild. It was just, I felt so strong. And then I got laryngitis for a week. So, that was a little bit about me and stuff that I've had to experience in life. And there we go. And it was scary. Woo! So, I still walk in the woods. I still walk that same path. That's my fridge. I still walk the same path, but I do things a little bit smarter now. And I've learned from some of my perhaps mistakes, because to sit here and analyze and think about what could have happened, well, kind of scary. So not that I'm trying to be ignorant, but I mean, my dogs could have been killed. So, yeah. So that was really scary, but thankfully I'm okay and my dogs are okay. So that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. God, is it still raining? Oh yeah, it's pouring out. It is a damp and dreary day, I will tell you that, at least where I'm at. Okay. That has to be a regular size piece. It has to have a little bit of light on it. Such a tiny piece. Anyway, yeah, it was, I'll leave it at that, but it was wild. Wild. Oh my goodness. You know, but like, how do you get, not that people will get mad at the bear, but all I'm gonna say is like, how do you get mad at the bear? Like it's, you know what, I bet you, I have often thought about this. I wonder if the bear had cubs. And the only reason I say, and I know instantly people are gonna say, if it had cubs, it would viciously attack you or your dogs because it views you as a threat. Absolutely, absolutely. Good on you for knowing that. But I will say that I do feel like it had cubs because I've walked that trail so long, different times of day, different times of year, like, you know, blah, blah. And I have come across bears before, not necessarily on that trail, but others. And typically they run. Like typically I think they're quite timid of humans. But this one certainly did not run. This one came out not once, but twice, ready to go. And I've never seen that before. It was wild, just wild. Anyway, what piece goes there? You want to go there so bad, don't you? I really don't know what piece goes there. I know I'm missing 2 pieces, but I kind of think that I'm missing more, which is frustrating for a puzzler. Nice. Yeah, see, just being able to like take the shapes and like separate them, I swear that is such a good way to finish a puzzle, because you may be a little bit stressed out at your puzzle, if that makes sense. So to me, doing this type of method where you separate them out is really smart, because then you're able to kind of move faster and it is still enjoyable at the same time. Yeah, Cobble Hill makes such different pieces. Okay, let's do a little Christmas ball check. So there's got to be a red one right there. Yeah, listen to the rain. It's crazy. There's red above, that's too close. All right, that's okay. But I do need the facilities, so I am gonna take a break here. 20 minutes, that's a short one. All right, I do need the bathroom, but please like this video, please subscribe down below. This is probably my shortest puzzle video, so I guess you're welcome if the videos are too long for you, and I'll be back in a flash. All right, thanks guys.